Banner hatte, fand ich den Banner egal, wo, ob ich in Italien war, in Spanien war, fand ich da den Banner schon geil. Aber der Banner darf da sein, weil es ist die Firma.
Ja, das ist dein Geschäftsidee?
Nein, weil wir einfach scheiße sind. Schönen guten Tag, meine Damen und Herren. Herzlich willkommen zu einem weiteren Video der Firma Performance GmbH. Heute ist Top Fuel Dragster Testtag. Das sind keine Top Fuel, aber ich glaube, heute ist nur Big Block Time. Los geht's. Is it okay that we have a look?
Oh yeah, help yourself. Let me know if you guys got any questions.
Oh, I got a lot of questions. You got a moment for us? Sure. So we're from Germany, so we're absolutely not familiar what we see right here.
Okay.
So what kind of power are we talking here?
This one car on gasoline makes about 1370 horsepower in that ballpark.
Okay, so normal gas.
Yeah, it's just a higher octane gasoline is what it is.
So how much octane is that?
This one runs about a 116, 117.
Octane? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's pretty high.
That's high.
That is high.
Yeah.
and how much liters are this?
Liters. I'm gonna have to figure out the equivalent. This is 615 cubic inch.
Okay.
Which I think is almost
That's a lot.
10 liters, I think?
Yeah, I think so too.
Somewhere around there?
So 615?
Correct. And then a 454 is 7.4.
10. It's pretty.
10.
It's 10 liters.
And that's actually fairly small. I mean, like,
yeah, of course.
This is 615. That's almost 750 in that car.
This over there.
Yeah.
So, and what time are you running in this?
This car will run. This car, the way it's set up right now, will run about.
You call it a car?
This piece.
This thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This thing, the way it's set up right now, runs mid 670s, low 670s, 198 in that ballpark.
190, so 190 miles after the quarter mile. No.
Mile an hour through the quarter mile at the finish line.
Really?
This car will run just about 200.
In 400 meters?
Yeah. Which is nothing compared to this one. This one goes about 240. So this one's another 40 miles an hour faster than this one.
Supercharged, obviously.
Yeah, it's got a...
So what kind of regulations you got? So who allows, or you just build what you want and then you go? No.
For this class, the only thing they really care about is you can't go quicker than 6 seconds. Other than that, you can do whatever you want. So you'll see this class, people have they'll have a root style, supercharger, they got a pro charger, there could be nitrous, I mean there's turbos, whatever you feel like doing.
Whatever you feel like.
That's what makes it fun. That's what makes this class fun. Is you can pretty much just do whatever you want. You just don't run quicker than 6 seconds.
And these engines, they can stay in, or they have to be rebuilt all the time?
I can get almost the way this thing's set up right now, 140 runs out of it. Oh yeah.
Okay. So that's fun. I mean,
yeah, I can get a full season, almost 2 seasons out of it.
So you do seasons, so you travel around?
Yeah, try to.
So you do it privately?
No. Well, I got a real job, so when my real job will let me go racing. This is all
amazing.
Just for fun.
That's a nice thing to do, yeah. So, can I ask you, so how much money is something like this?
If I were to rebuild this car,
yes,
right now it would probably be about 165,000. Okay. This one's probably more like 200.
And so the companies, they sell you the frame? Yeah,
you have your choice of manufacturers. You know whose frame, body style you want to run.
And concerning safety, so what, it's chromoly or what was?
Yeah.
Okay. So the chromoly, the complete is chromoly.
Yeah. And the organization, the sanctioning body tells you what size and thickness you need to run.
Yeah. So I guess they are 3 millimeters, 2 millimeters? They feel very thick.
I don't even remember what they are.
Okay.
So all the sanctioning bodies, the only thing they really care about is driver's compartment. So you'll see it starts necking down as you get down past the driver's compartment. Like if you look at the frame rails, how it starts stepping down in size just for weight. And you don't want the car to be too stiff. So that's how they start building flexibility now. Is you'll start stepping down, put smaller tubes in it.
And because we also drive pretty fast cars, but this is something else, I think. I mean, it's totally different kind of power. So is it dangerous? Or because when I see the distance from there to there and go fast, this is actually something what I don't like.
Because you
wider.
don't think it's stable enough?
Yeah, but the long wheelbase makes it, I guess, stable.
And the wing helps, the downforce.
This.
That little thing.
This.
It ain't much, but it helps.
This.
So that one, I mean, that one's a lot beefier for this car.
That's not beefy. I mean, this is the same wing.
But it's got more area.
Okay. You know, we GT3 RS and all this is what we do.
Okay.
That's wings. We got wings, but we don't have power at all compared to this. I mean, it's crazy. So and there are also ones that have 14,000, right?
The professional guys are about 14,000. Yeah.
And this was how much?
1,300. 1,400 horsepower.
So 10 times.
Correct.
10 times.
That's correct.
Why? Do you ever you want to drive? You ever drove something like this? The 14,000 things?
No, the pro stuff? No.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, this one kind of scares me enough. I don't need to go much faster than that.
No, I guess.
This one's still almost. This one's 4.5 Gs.
In the first moment.
From about 60 feet till about 800 feet, it's pulling
4.5 Gs. And the other ones?
Or close to 6.
All the way?
Mm-hmm. Oh. I mean, you might lose 1 or 2 the closer you get to the finish line. Of course. But I mean, with the pros, yeah, they're 6, easily 6.5.
Pleasure talking to you.
You know what's actually really fun with this one though, and I would imagine the pros are very similar, is this car makes too much power, so I'm pulling timing out to slow it down. And then I ramp timing back in to try to get the engine happy again. When that timing comes back in, it sets you back. I run about close to 30 pounds of boost in this thing.
30 pounds is like 2 bar.
Yeah,
a little more.
Yeah, atmosphere is what, 14, something like that. So
yeah.
2, a little over 2. So once you start ramping that timing back in with 30 pounds of boost, it's fun. It's fun.
So nothing on the street really gives you any kind of...
Actually, the street scares me more because I got to worry about the other idiots.
Yeah, that's true.
I only got to worry about one idiot when I'm racing this.
Okay, so what kind of cars are driving today? So I think
all of them. Everything here is racing today.
So what's the highest power today?
The alcohol cars that are running right now.
Yeah.
They make about 5,000, 6,000.
Okay, we're going to check them out.
Yeah, they're actually running right now.
Okay, we're going. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Bye bye. Also das ganze Ding ist halt einfach krass so, weil es ist diese Kombination aus Lebensgefühl, Spaß, Ruhe, Entspanntheit und ja, das ist mein Hobby und das mache ich hier und die anderen, die fahren 5.000 und die fahren 14.000 PS. Ich stehe vor dem Ding, das hat 1.300 PS und ich in die Hose, weil ich mir denke, wenn er sagen will, ja fahr mal damit, würde ich sagen, nein. Das sieht aus wie ein Pfeil. Weißt du, damit fährst du doch. Komm, wir gucken uns mal die 5.000 PS Dinger an. Los geht's. Das ist krass. Wir sind ja jetzt gerade gekommen, wo die aus waren. Jetzt pass mal auf. Du hörst auch, wenn der über die geklebte Strecke geht, auf die Distanz hörst du seine Schuhe. Du hörst, wie die Schuhe kleben auf der Strecke. Jetzt fahre ich durch die Wasserstelle durch und mache jetzt einen Burnout. Wie viel Sprit aus dem Auspuff kommt. Siehst du das? Und das, was der andere Typ meinte, durch diesen Sprit geht der Weichmacher aus den Reifen raus und dann werden die noch grippiger. Durch den Sprit. Und die Dinger sind kalt. Kalt. Damit müssen wir auch so erklären.
Das hat alles vibriert immer, mein ganzer Körper war am Vibrieren.
Also, ist so laut, dass das nicht laut ist wie ein Auspuff, sondern es ist ja im Körper. Ist so wie wo wir Düsenjäger fliegen waren. Ja. Tornado-laut. Das ist so in deinem Körper, das ist so drin und so eine Gewalt. Und was wir hören, ist nur der Verbrennungsprozess. Wir hören Ventile auf und zugehen. Hör mal. Aber der Wumms, in dem Moment, guck mal, wie der Motor in der Lage ist, hochzudrehen. Wenn der B58 startet, Drosselklappe auf, Ladedruck und dann geht das los. Der steht und der Motor ist ja innerhalb von einer Zehntelsekunde, ist der sofort da. Und dann hat der eine Gewalt. Aber was für ein Land, wir sind gerade hier zu Fuß hochgegangen, das ist ein Dragstrip. Da hinten ist so ein Cross-Auto-Ding. Dann ist hier eine normale Rundstrecke. Dann kann man da hinten noch irgendwie driften. Dann gibt es noch mal so eine Kreisbahnfahrt, so Cold Trickle, Days of Thunder mäßig. In der Wüste, in Nevada.
Ja gut, die haben auch genug Platz in der Wüste.
Das ist egal. Wir haben auch den Platz, aber wir haben nicht das Publikum, wir haben nicht die Leute, wir haben nicht den Willen, wir haben nicht diese Energie. Platz ist nicht das Thema. Sowas, wir haben das ja nicht einmal. Wir haben Hockenheimring, wir haben Nürburgring, wir haben Oschersleben und noch ein, zwei andere Dinge. Aber das ist erstmal leer. Wir sind hier an einem Donnerstag, Digga. Es ist nicht voll, aber wir sind an einem Donnerstag hier. Verrückt. Und solche Tribünen sind voll. Und ich fahre die Viertelmeile. Komplett verrückt. Und stell dir mal vor, du bist hier und die machen alle Veranstaltungen gleichzeitig. Du gehst von da nach da, nach da, nach da. Mega. Was man sieht, dass sie schon flexen, ne? Also die sind, was er vorhin meinte, die sind schon weicher. Yeah. Aber das sind nicht die Top-Fuel-Dragster-Reifen. Die sind viel härter von der Flanke. Diese Top-Fuel-Dragster, die sind viel flacher. Ja, ja. Guck mal. Ja komm, wir gehen mal hoch.
We get through it, 5,400. 263 miles an hour. That'll take care of that.
Warte mal, 263 Meilen, Digga. 423 km/h ist da hinten. 423. Meine Güte. Ist das krass. Allein das ist so toll. Ich frage ihn jetzt gerade am Schrauben, ob ich gucken kann. Also ja, auf jeden Fall, klar. Also erstmal ist es ein kompletter Billetblock. Die Kolben sehen aus wie Valenziner Orangenflaschen. Irgendwie, das sind solche Töpfe. Kompression muss unheimlich krass sein, weil seht ihr, wie das Kolbenprofil ist. Der Kolben kommt richtig extrem raus. Da sieht man diese dicke Kupferkopfdichtung hier raus. Die Ventilfedern, quasi Federn von einem Trabi, das sind nur die Ventilfedern. Und dann guckt ihr mal die Ansaugbrücke da oben an. Das ist die Kopfdichtung mit so einem Ring drin. Und die wird halt nach jedem Lauf, glaube ich, bei denen gewechselt. Ansaugbrücke oder was das so ist. Ich meine, guck mal. Auch für mich wirklich, wirklich krass. Das Motoröl ist grün. Das grünes Motoröl.
Also gibt es einen Grund?
So I guess the baffle got to be extreme because of the torque and the G-force, right?
Correct, yeah.
So
Keep the oil from sloshing around.
Yeah, so the oil is all the way in the back?
The whole pan. So when we run...
And you have to change the gasket after every run?
No, the gasket stays. We don't change the gasket unless it's damaged.
So you keep this?
Yeah, head gaskets get this is the gasket for here.
Yeah, of course.
So, so we don't ever change that except for thickness. Like they last multiple runs. Yeah, exactly. Like tomorrow we're going to change 5,000s up to lower the compression for the air.
Ah, so you can adjust the power by the compression.
We go from like I think this is a 55. Yeah, this is a 55,000th. We go clear up to like 100, 110.
And then
to knock the compression down.
And but the top fuel dragsters, they're going to change them after every run?
Every run, yeah.
Every run,
correct.
Right? Okay.
Yep. We can go all weekend without changing them here. But yeah, the oil is usually up to about the baffles here, you know, right about this rail when we're running.
Right.
So this keeps it from sloshing up onto the crank.
And And how much oil is in the whole engine bay?
Just that.
So that's around, in liters,
about
that's
3.5 gallons.
So 10 liters.
Yes.
Yeah, around that.
Yep.
And the capacity of the engine is, what size is that? In liters?
439 inches, so
not that huge.
That's about a, what, 6.5, 6.7?
No, bigger. No, it's bigger. It's like 8.5.
460 is 7.2, right? So we're 439. So it'd be about 6.9, 7, somewhere in there.
So not that huge.
No.
So how much power are we talking here?
4,500 horsepower, 4,500.
4,500.
Yep.
And it's a complete billet block, what I see.
Yes.
You got the rockers here.
Correct.
And how do you torque down these? I mean, you torque down the head.
Right. We've got what we call a dog bone.
A dog bone.
So it goes on the torque wrench, and then it comes underneath the rocker here.
And then you move them.
And then we can torque it, just stick the wrench in there, and we torque it with this.
And how much torque is that?
50 pounds. Yeah, 50 pounds on those. On the heads, we do 135 on the bottom studs. So these are 135, these are 165, and then 50 on
you got different torque inside, outside?
On each, yes.
How come?
These are smaller studs, and these are bigger. We've got 8 small ones and 5 big ones.
But why?
That's the way they're designed for the heads, for where the force is on the heads.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Also, they're closer to the... Guck mal bitte, Leute, I got to explain in German.
Yes, sure.
Guck mal bitte, wie nah der Stehbolzen an der Zinnerwand ist. So it's a sleeve block, gesleeved, und dann hat er hier ganz nah den Bolzen, aber der untere Bolzen ist wieder weiter außen. So there's, of course, no water.
Right, yep,
so there's alcohol. And that means the intake temperature is what area?
So this is actually nitro. It's not alcohol.
Oh, it's nitro.
We start on alcohol and then we run, naturally aspirated. So if you look, we've got, this is basically our throttle blades are in here. It's got 2 big square blades inside this.
Okay.
And then we have injectors here, but we also have injectors in the heads. If you look inside the cylinders, we have injectors right here too. This fuel rail runs into the head, and then those 2 are injectors.
So how many liters are going through that in 400 meters?
We burn about 7 gallons in a run, including burnout. I don't remember what our actual fuel rate is at.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah.
Ungefähr 26 Liter. One second.
Yeah.
Ein Lauf, 26 Liter.
Was heißt die Leistung, was hat er gesagt?
4,5. Der fährt aber Nitro.
Okay.
You can understand, for us German little boys, we play a totally different
Very
game.
different game, yeah.
So the fastest time this runs is what time?
5 teens, 5:12, 5:15. We just ran a 5:24. We run as high as 282 miles an hour in 5.1 seconds.
5,1 Sekunden, 280 Meilen. 280 Meilen.
And like I say, no supercharger, no boost, so naturally aspirated. We're about 12.5 to 1 compression.
That's not so high.
Yeah, not bad. And we started on alcohol and then we switched to nitro. So it's 95% nitro, 5% alcohol mixture. So the same exact fuel that the top fuel cars burn, just no supercharger.
And of course, that's a mechanical fuel pump.
Correct. Yeah, this is the
fuel pump right here, right?
Yep, this is the fuel pump right here. It's driven off the camshaft.
One side.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, no, of course. It's German again. You have one camshaft.
One cam, yeah.
Got it.
Center. You can see the cam down through these holes. That's the cam running right down the journal. So if you pull the lifters out, you can see the camshaft down on the side there.
Yeah. And this engine, how much time can it just run? I mean,
not very long.
No?
I mean,
you're private team.
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
So you just do it for the fun of it.
We do it for points. We're actually number 2 in the national championship.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Of course, that's why I'm here.
Yeah. We're still in contention. We have 1 race left to go in Pomona next weekend. And
so how far are you traveling?
All over the country. John does 22 to 25 races a year. So we were here last weekend racing the national event, back here racing the regional this weekend, California next weekend.
Also not so far.
And the team's out of New Jersey. Or New York, New Jersey.
So so one season is 1,000 of miles?
Yeah, 30,000 miles for the truck all over the country.
Per season?
Yeah, we were in Dallas, Texas a couple weeks ago. Then they went back to Maple Grove, on the East Coast, and then back out here to Vegas. So yeah, there's a lot of traveling.
Can I ask you, what do you think? What's the cost for a season to run this?
That's the big guy.
Roughly.
To run the season like they run, probably $400,000, $300,000, $400,000, depending on how many parts you break.
Without the car.
So
just
that's
the season.
that's just the season.
You.
Fuel, wages, parts.
It's amazing. I mean, honestly, the valve spring by itself looks like a spring from a normal German car.
Yeah, triple springs.
That's crazy. Really.
So the body's off. So now you can see the entire chassis. So
that's chromoly again, right?
Yes. Yep.
So it's flexing a little bit.
Yeah, it arches and flexes. It goes down the track. It
like a banana.
Up. Yeah. Yep. If you look at the body, the slots for the body, it mounts hard in the front, and then the body sits on this, and there's a notch on the body where it can slide. See how that's ovaled out?
Yeah.
That post goes through, and it can slide back and forth as the body arches and settles.
Makes sense.
The body stretches. It just mounts in the front, right on the front of the chassis here. It mounts on this post here, and that one in the back. And that's
how heavy is it?
The car? We just crossed the scales at 2,210 pounds. Or no,
Wow.
Yeah, 2,210 pounds.
So I can lift it up here?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, the front is super light.
Yeah, gotta be.
Yeah, all the weight's back there.
I got so many questions. It's amazing. Really. So, of course, it sounds silly for you, but it is a big block.
Yes.
Is it a typical big block?
It's all billet, but it's essentially a Chrysler Hemi block. So if you take a 1960s Dodge Hemi motor, like a 426 Hemi, the heads from this motor will bolt on to a 1970s, 69, 70 Hemi Dodge.
Okay. Then I saw the clutch plates over there.
Yes.
So in these cars, they still do something, but in the top fuel, is it true that they stick together after the run?
Yes. Yeah, top fuel will weld together. They get so hot. They get over 1,400 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, our clutch will be around 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit when we pull it out.
And it's reusable.
It'll leave scars on your arm if you, yeah.
Can we have a look at them?
Yeah, they're still warm, so careful with them. But yeah, you're welcome to look at them.
So the housing, yeah. And how many, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 plates.
Yeah, 4 plates and 3 floaters. So you have, this is where the flywheel is on this back side.
Yes.
Then you have them alternating, and then you have this piece right here.
Wow.
Is where, this surface touches that plate, and then it bolts on here.
Yeah.
And these are your centrifugal weights.
Yes.
that move as the car goes faster. We adjust these weights on here to give it more clamping force. So this is
how you adjust RPM compared to if you let off the brake.
Correct.
How it goes.
Because the clutch has to slip. If you leave the starting line with 4,000 horsepower at 5,000 RPM, it's just going to spin the tires. So this allows it to slip because we have an air gap in between the discs. Yeah, we have an adjustment tool. When we get it all put together, that's the thickness, that's the slip in the clutch. So we put this between those discs and make sure that we have this tolerance.
Imagine how... Yes.
It's this is the most critical
I gotta explain that. That's amazing.
This is the most critical thing in the car right here, because if this is too thick,
it's too long.
The car won't move.
Exactly.
If it's too tight, the car will push and it won't stay, because when we leave the starting line, the foot's off the clutch. There's you just hit the throttle and go. So you've got to have that air gap critical.
Wow. And in the warm condition.
Yes.
Because
it changes.
It will change.
Yes.
So you adjust it cold or you adjust it warm?
We don't actually warm the clutch. Like, we'll start the car and warm it up, and then when we're done warming the car up, so it's just barely warm, then we set this. We adjust it. She gets in the car and pushes the pedal, and then we feel that tension on that blade.
So you adjust it.
So we have a mechanical adjustment on the linkage. So see that arm that sticks out off the clutch? There's that rod that goes up and down there. That hooks on right here.
Yes.
So we adjust that rod with the hind joints in or out to adjust that gap in the clutch discs. But that's the most critical part of the car.
That sounds dangerous.
Oh, it's very dangerous.
It's super dangerous.
If you have it too tight,
yeah, right.
the car will take off when we start it.
And you can't stop it.
No, no, it's down the track until you shut the fuel off. Yeah, as easy as that.
Okay, I gotta explain that. Das ist so krass, so geil, aber it's made to be fast.
Yes.
If you adjust it right, you have the maximum point of speed.
Yes.
Or acceleration for this kind of technology.
Too much air gap is too much slip. Too tight of an air gap is too tight, and it doesn't work either.
Also, can I see this?
Yes.
The
gauge?
Yes.
It's right here.
Also, das ist die Fühlerlehre, die benutzt wird, um den Schleifpunkt zwischen den Kupplungsscheiben auch einzustellen in Verbindung mit diesen Rockerarmen. Das ist das perfekte Maß, dass der Wagen im warmen Zustand mit der Bremse zum Stehen gebracht werden kann. Und wenn der Fuß runtergeht und du aufs Gas gehst, dass diese Zeit und dieser Moment, wenn du aufs Gas drauf trittst, die Kupplung schließt und das Ding losgeht. Das heißt, wenn der Abstand im warmen Zustand zu klein ist, kann sie ihn nicht stoppen und er fährt los. Ist es zu groß, kommt die Leistung nicht in der Kupplung. So it's a super simple technology,
yes.
Extremely simple,
yeah.
But very precise.
Very repeatable, but it's all on touch. You have to feel, you know, when you put that, there's a gap in the bell housing there, and you put that in, and you feel that
Can
tension.
I see the gap?
Yes. So we pull this cover off right here when it's on the car.
You don't have to take it off.
Okay.
So that's
you can see underneath. There's
Yeah,
this
that's the
gap
gap, yeah.
right there.
And you check the gap only on one pair?
Only on one pair. Always the same pair, so it's consistent. But you slide that in, and then you want to just feel that. If it's, you know, if it's too loose, it's no good. If it's too tight, you got it. It's the same guy has to set it up to be consistent
to make it right. So you do that where?
In the pit.
In the pit.
Yeah, after we warm the motor.
How much time do you need? If he pulls it out and feels got a problem, how much time is that?
And we set it in about 30 seconds. Because it's just one adjustment. If this isn't right, then we adjust this.
Oh, got it. So the whole package.
Right. When we're adjusting, so let me show you the second part of it. This, when we put this piece on top of the clutch discs, we check our initial adjustment right here. We put this between the discs, and we can adjust these 6 stands in and out.
And they all 6 have to be the same.
Right.
Because if you do that wrong,
exactly.
If you do that wrong, then you have everything.
Because it's always rotating. You've got to have. This is the first setting. We set this in the pit right here like this. We put the discs.
How do you do that they all 6 are the same height?
Just constantly checking. You set one, and then you spin it, you set the other side, and you just rotate it and check them until they're all right. You just make fine adjustments. You just make, you know, that much adjustment back or forth is a couple thousand.
And you take the engine to see if they're all in line.
Exactly, yep. You just roll the engine
Leck
over and check it.
mich, we say in Germany, leck mich am Leck mich am
Like, kiss my.
Ah, okay, yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
And how big is the team? How many people are in the team?
Today, 2.
2.
We normally have 3, but today it was me and John, our crew chief, and our driver. So, and Ray. Ray's our truck driver.
Okay.
But
No,
yeah,
I don't want to take your time.
You're okay.
But it's for me. It's I love this.
It's pretty interesting. I mean, it's so simple, but so fast.
Yeah, and you got 2 coil packs.
They're 44 amp mags.
2.
So yeah. And
44 amps.
each.
44 Ampere pro.
Yeah. So.
No. You jump over your normal things. 44 Ampere pro Apparillo.
So these are our spark plugs. Just a normal automotive.
After a run.
Yeah, that's after a run. So that spark plug's been 278 miles an hour. You guys want a spark plug? I've got a drawer of them here. These are like souvenirs. You guys want one?
Yeah, I would love to.
Thank you. So those are from last weekend from the national event here. So.
Ist das schon so, mein Englisch nicht so gut. Hört das Ding nur auf zu laufen, weil es rückwärts weg ist? Ist das schon so das Level?
No, ich glaube nicht. So this is not the level of engine. Go on. This is not the level of engine that the spark plug is. This is not the level of spark plug that they're gone after the 300 meters.
Not if everything goes well. So that's what they look like when it doesn't go well.
I know this. I know this.
That's why that side's off.
I know this. Don't show me that too long. I have seen that too many times.
That's why the cylinder head's off that side. We're checking to make sure everything's good.
Oh, this is the same piston?
Yeah, this is the piston that we just ran.
With that thing?
With that plug.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It's okay.
German engines don't look like that anymore.
No.
The spark plug looks like that.
It's okay. We're fixing it. We just grind the valve. The head's inside. John's fixing the valve. I'm gonna pull the piston out. That was
easy.
Yeah. I'll have that piston out in about 2 minutes and check the rings.
What is the RPM on that?
About 6,000. Give or
Easy.
take. Yeah.
And
like
top fuel?
So the alcohol cars in our class, the blown alcohol cars, those guys turn about 8,000, 9,000 RPM. Our car only turns about 6,000 RPM on a natural.
And these big beasts, these big top fuel things, they go
about 7,000. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the huge difference if we see these top fuel monsters? Because they make 14,000.
The supercharger.
So boost.
Everything else is the same.
Honestly.
Yeah. You can, this block, you could build a top fuel car out of it.
So compression is
lower. We're 12.5, 12.7 to 1. They're 6.8 to 1 with 65 pounds of boost.
And 65 is also not so crazy.
It's a lot, but yeah, not comparatively.
Okay.
But other than that, it's essentially exactly the same design. The cylinder heads, dual spark plug, a little bit of difference, but essentially they're 500 cubic inches, we're 439, so a little bit more cubes, but everything else is pretty much the same.
Crazy. And a differential like that, that's stress.
Yes.
That is not good.
Yeah, there's no transmission, it's just straight through. You don't shift these, it's all in the clutch. The harder that clutch grabs, the more RPM it puts to the back, and then the tires grow to add your RPM down the track.
And speed.
Yeah, so
one second. Das muss man mal überlegen. Durch den Wachstum des Reifens wird ja auch die Geschwindigkeit erhöht. Daran denken wir gar nicht, weil eine Getriebeübersetzung, eine Radumdrehung stehend zu einer Radumdrehung bei 400 km/h ist, so they grow on a top fuel thing, they grow like this, right?
yeah,
So
same with these.
So that would mean,
See right here, if you look, you see this mark right here?
it's right driving it.
That's how much contact patch we have going down the track. It shrinks
you can
up
feel it.
that much. Yeah, just right there. That's the width of the tires we're going down the track.
Yeah. So with the height, you could say if it would be able 6,000 RPM, that size, it would be 200 miles if the tire would stay like that. But if it would grow, it would be 260.
Yeah, exactly. Top fuel cars use this same exact tire, same
Really?
size, and go.
But softer.
No, same exact tire.
Because sometimes you see these
The way they
walls.
distort,
Yeah.
that's just the G-forces. It's the same exact tire. That tire will go 330 miles an hour. Just bigger.
I think many Germans see that and see just the simple American way of doing it. What it is for some reason, but when you go into it, after so many years, it got so advanced and so much more technology, and to be honest, so many things where we never think about. It's a completely different way of making something fast.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We would go, let's try 2 liters.
Yeah. 2 liters, turbos, electronics,
all kind of stuff.
Management.
Yeah. And here, they won't be dirty. They have a computer here.
Right.
Got one guy dirty.
Yeah.
Pull that screw just 0.001 millimeter. That's good.
Yeah.
And then they're done.
Right.
But I love this.
Yeah, absolutely. I follow Formula One. I love Formula One.
Totally different story.
Yeah, completely different. We went to the pits in Montreal, and we were in the Haas team pit, and looking at the way they do things, and then.
And you were like.
Yeah, it's like, how come your hands aren't dirty?
Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything here, all mechanical.
Power.
We have, this is our computer right here.
One second. Is that the fuel line?
Yes, this is the fuel line right here. So this is the tank right here. This is the trunk line. This is the fuel line wrapped inside that. So this is the fuel tank.
Is it wrapped because of temperature or because of safety?
So in this category, we can chill our fuel. That machine right there is a fuel chiller. We put those lines up and it refrigerates the fuel.
To what Celsius?
NHRA has it mandated at 50 degrees. We used to be able to run 40 degrees. The colder the fuel, the denser, obviously. So since we don't have supercharger to cause boost, we chill the fuel. It gives a higher density.
That is very interesting for audience. If you 40 degrees Fahrenheit. 50 Fahrenheit. 1 second. Also, die dürfen den Sprit kühlen auf 50 Grad Fahrenheit. Das ist 10 Grad. So it's 10 Celsius, 10 degrees Celsius. If you, it's very interesting for me. So you got it chilled, and let's say to make it easy, chilled is 1000 HP. So let's say it will not be chilled. How much less power would it make?
I don't know the exact number, but like say we make 4,500 horsepower at 50 degrees. If we're at 55 degrees, 5 degrees Fahrenheit, we could be only at 4,000. We can lose 500 horsepower off of 5 degrees. Give or take, you know, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So that thing is purely important.
Very important.
But if you go to 9 Celsius, how do they check that?
With this, we put a temp probe in the fuel tank.
And when do they check that? Right before the race?
In the staging lanes, yeah, when we go up there in the staging lanes. And then they also, we can only have 95%
alcohol.
Nitro.
Yeah.
So they also check that with this machine. It checks the specific gravity to make sure.
Make a separate tank in the tank.
Yeah, the guys have tried it.
Sie sollen einen separaten Tank in den Tank machen. Yeah, I mean that would be a difference.
Yeah, but that difference in temperature or nitro percentage will greatly alter how much horsepower it puts out.
Massively.
Yeah, and that's why they mandate it. NHRA controls that, just like FIA controls
everything.
They keep it competitive. A couple of years ago, we could go to 40 degrees, but the blown alcohol cars in our class, we were faster. The nitro cars were faster than alcohol.
So they just make the gasoline warmer.
10 degrees warmer takes horsepower. So it slowed us down to match the alcohol.
You want to see a German reaction? Look. 4.500 PS mit 10 Grad kaltem Sprit. Mit 11 Grad oder 12 Grad kaltem Sprit. Wie viel PS? 4.000. 500 PS gehen verloren. Bei 2 Grad. We are happy to have 500 in general.
Right.
Das Spiel zwischen Kolben und Laufbahn. Du kannst einen eingebauten Zustand, kannst Stoßbier messen. Guck dir rein, guck dir an. Spring rüber. Das ist doch
Are those bearings here? That's not the actual bearings?
Yeah, those are the bearings for the connecting rods.
You can buy them. They're tiny. Yeah. How long do they last?
3 runs.
And how much time does it take to change them?
20 minutes.
No, you know what? We don't know each other that good, but you, man.
Yeah.
No, wait. You changed the bearings, all of them.
No, only the tops.
Ah, because of the pressure.
Yeah, you don't change the bottoms. Maybe 20-30 runs.
In 20 minutes.
Aber muss gespart werden.
So das willst du wechseln an einem RS4B5 als Beispiel. Wir sprechen uns einfach in 2 Tagen wieder. 20 Minuten.
Das ist auch schwer. Du siehst die Kolben.
Wow! So the pistons grow that much? That's why you have so much gap? Or
There's 0 gap rings. We have, they have a double ring, so there's 0 gap.
the piston looks like for the wrong engine.
Yeah, there's a good clearance in there.
Guck mal. Siehst du oben den silbernen Ring? Siehst du das? That's crazy.
Yeah. You want to see one out? I need to pull number 8 out. Do you want to see? I'll pull it out so you guys can take a look at it.
Also das ist so geil. Diese Einblicke, diese Informationen, die man bekommt, es ist einfach ein Genuss. Und diese Art von Motorsport spiegelt aber auch ganz klar das Land wider. Und zwar, mach es einfach nicht so kompliziert. Mach es doch nicht so kompliziert. Und natürlich haben wir über unsere deutsches Engineering eine sehr hohe Effizienz in Motoren bekommen. Wir haben, oder allgemein das Engineering, nicht das Deutsches, egal wo auf der Welt. dass man halt eine super hohe Effizienz reinbekommt mit allen möglichen Überwachungstechnologien. Aber das hier ist einfach rohe Power. Aber so roh, wie du es nur haben kannst.
Was mich gerade wundert, ist, geh mal zu so einem deutschen Rennteam und guck dir die Sachen durch.
Der jagt dich. Der ruft Karen an und sagt, Karen, jag die vom Hof. Und du hast auch noch Platzverbot. Ja. Ich denke, mit dem kannst du jetzt, du drehst 3 Stunden weiter, dann pennt er heute Abend bei uns. Das ist mit dem Abend so. So they are of course the aluminium rods, right?
Yes, correct.
And the aluminium rods, what do you think about? Can they stay in the engine for a long time? Because some people say if you keep the aluminium rods too long in the oil, that they will lose quality.
We can get 75 runs out of them.
And then they're bending, or then they're
compressed. Not,
yeah, they
not
get shorter,
much,
right?
Not too much in these. In top fuel, they can sometimes only get 2 or 3 runs out of them. They in top fuel they measure them every round.
You want to take it?
Yep. Go ahead and grab it for me.
What the hell? What?
So here's the bearing.
What?
Kannst du es mal ganz kurz halten, bitte?
So this is the bottom bearing, and this is the top
enjoy.
bearing.
Relax. What is this?
A little bigger than your German rods, huh?
What is this?
That's a connecting rod.
But I think that the bore stroke looks very sexy. I think it's not too much stroke, so it looks like it could rev way higher.
Yes.
But that's sexy, man.
Yeah. Nice, huh? Different.
And the lock, what's that?
That's the bearing. That keeps it from rotating.
This little thing?
It's just a brass pin that keeps this bottom one from rotating. And then that's our top bearing. So this stays. We don't replace this every round. We replace this every 3.
Pressure, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's anyway only 4 seconds, so I don't give a...
Yeah.
And the oil is green.
Yes.
So that's 0 gap?
The bottom one. So the top one isn't, but you can see this one.
Oh yeah, it's complete, yeah.
See, this is why, okay, now see, I just found the problem. When we checked the cylinder, it didn't have good compression. See how the rings are constantly spinning? These 2 rings are lined up, see? The gap is the same.
Yeah. So
and then this one is right here, so boom, 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 all 3 of those, yep.
Go up.
So that's exactly why we didn't leak well.
So how much power are you losing with this?
Could be
100,
200 horsepower at least,
Also die Kolbenringe sitzen einfach übereinander. Das heißt, du hast den Gap so. Das heißt, wenn der feiert, hast du einen Kompressionsverlust. Und natürlich hast du ihn sehr stark, weil, weil du...
Hi, Jack.
Weil, we have a little party here.
Cool.
Weil das Kolbenspiel im Zylinder ist gigantisch groß. Ist ein gigantisch großes Kolbenspiel, also 6, 7 Mal größer als bei einem deutschen Motor. Und wenn dann die Kolbenringe nicht sitzen, so the compression is like 12, you said 12,5?
Yeah, 12,5.
12,5 zu 1 verdichtet. Wenn der hochfährt und die Kolbenringe so sind, dann pfeift er die Kompression durch und dann geht die Leistung runter. Und die verlieren mit so einem kleinen Ding. Du musst überlegen, das ist ja nicht so groß, sondern der ist ja komprimiert so. Das sind 200, 300 PS. Boom. Das ist verrückt.
Kannst du noch fragen, was der Top Fuel gegen das Auto kostet?
Yeah, what's the price on the top fuel, Dragster?
The price for a season?
No, for the vehicle.
Oh, to buy one? Buying it's cheap. Running it is expensive. Probably 60, 70,000 for the motor.
For top fuel?
Yeah. The components aren't expensive. It's running it that's expensive.
And they really have 14,000 HP, right? The top
12,
fuel.
12, yeah, give or take. But
well, that's the cheapest way to get that power. We know people that got thousands and spend more.
Because they have to replace the pistons every round. They have to replace the rods every round, so that the initial cost is not that bad. I mean, the chassis is the same chassis.
Same. I thought they're longer.
300 inch, same chassis.
Okay, crazy.
A few more bars or some,
Yeah.
But essentially the same.
So you can mod this to a top fuel mix.
Yeah. There's some guys take top fuel cars and make them into top alcohol cars.
Are these engines running today again, or somebody with the same power?
Yeah. What time is it?
It's now 4.
So they're going to run at 5:30 again. Like some of the other cars, we only made one today. Did good, and we're like...
You made a German guy talking to you too long. So.
No, we already decided not to run. We got what we wanted for our test run.
Okay.
But yeah, there will be at 5:30, the funny cars and the top alcohol class will be running tests again up there.
Okay.
So
it was really, no, honestly, a pleasure to meet you.
You bet. Nice to meet you guys.
And yeah, thank you.
You bet. You bet.
Talk to you later. Bye bye.
Take it easy, guys.
Mehr Amerika als das geht gerade echt nicht. Sonnenuntergang und guckt euch das mal an. Guckt mal bitte nach da. Und dann fragt man sich, wo die ganzen Tuning-Teile hingehen, ne? Es ist ein Donnerstag. Die testen einfach ihre Dragster, wie man das so macht an einem Donnerstagabend. Und das sind wirklich Leute, die machen es einfach so. Das Ding ist, diese Strecken gibt es hier in ganz Amerika verteilt. Ist das Wahnsinn? Guck dir jetzt mal an, wie viele Autos hier stehen. Und die verschiedensten Klassen und auch die verschiedensten Styles. Weil guck dir das Ding mal an, wie geil sieht das Teil aus. Alter.
Wir haben auch schon einen Mercedes gesehen gerade.
Ja? Auch dieser Style, ne? Die Jungs sind so 70, machen das wahrscheinlich schon ihr Leben lang, quatschen. Also es ist ein Vibe, der ist unbeschreiblich. Fast alles Big Blocks, Leistung so um die 1000, 1500 PS und spielen rum. Spielen einfach rum. Und die Dinger sind teilweise wirklich alt. Ne? Ich würde sagen, das Teil ist locker 40 Jahre alt. Und dazu kommt, du siehst so ein Ding, ne? Das Ding kommt gleich mit 270 durchs Ziel. Das, wow, guck mal bitte. Das ist ein Hobby, oder?
Teures Hobby.
Ja, ich weiß nicht, ich glaube, du kriegst so ein Ding gebraucht für, ja klar, ist ein teures Hobby.
Also
aber da sind Jungs bei uns, die...
250 hat er gesagt vorhin.
Ja, das sind ja nicht die. Ich denke, so ein Ding kriegst du für 50.000, 60.000 $. Und die sind ja auch teilweise super alt, die Teile. Und was du auch merkst, es geht denen ja auch gar nicht immer darum, irgendwie der Schnellste zu sein, sondern man spürt einfach diesen Vibe. Und ja, das will ich euch einfach ein bisschen mitgeben. Deswegen, ich wünsche euch noch ganz viel Spaß. Wir machen ein paar Bilder rein. Von dem Gefühl, dass ihr es mitbekommt, was hier so los ist. Nockenwelle. Hör dir das mal an, das Leerlauf. Das ist choppity chop 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 chop. Also, entweder morgen oder Montag. Tschüss.
Can you hear me? Tell me, can you hear me? I've been calling out for help, still don't see nobody near me. I'm down and almost underground and so deep in the valley, I can't even tell you which way is the mountain. God, the only word I got, I could probably plant a garden, all this dirt I got. Trail of broken hearts behind me from the hurt I bought. Sometimes I really start to wonder if I deserve my spot. Cause I'm just a man who's got blood all on his hands. But does a humble sinner still deserve a chance? Hey, say a prayer for me, I think you would advance. Step by step, yeah. Walked 100 miles and I still ain't sure just what I'm trying so hard to find. Let's go. The night seems longer and the wind blows louder when you wander so far from home. If I cross your mind, say a prayer, I'll find my way and get off of this lonely road. Off of this lonely road, off of this lonely road. Off of this lonely road, off of this lonely. Get off of this lonely road. Would you catch me? Tell me, would you catch me if I told you I was sorry? Could I fall until you bless me? Would you wrap your arms around me? Never drown me. If I walk towards the light, could I tell him that you found me? God, the only help I got. I know some people plotting on me, probably thought I'd rot. Praying for my downfall, wanna take my spot. Guess I deserve it, all the evil came out my heart. But I'm just a man who's got blood all on his hands. But does a humble sinner still deserve a chance? Hey, take me up, I pray to God I never land. Step by step, I've walked 100 miles and I still ain't sure just what I'm trying so hard to find. The night seems longer and the wind blows louder when you wander so far from home. If I cross your mind, say a prayer, I'll find my way and get off of this lonely road. Off of this lonely road, off of this lonely road. Off of this lonely road, off of this lonely road. Get off of this lonely road. bound for this lonely road.